Hi friends, it's Miss Lauren. Since we are talking about bugs and insects this week, I wanted to go over some different bugs and insects and some fun facts about them. So what I have here is this little graphic, and it shows you three different sections. It says bugs, insects, and arachnids. So the funny thing is about bugs and insects, they're more or less the same thing. But the thing is that all bugs are insects, but not necessarily all insects are bugs. So the difference is true bugs are ones that have one set of wings, they have hardened forewings, and they have a straw-shaped mouth. And so what makes them different from insects is that insects, they have sensory antenna, two sets of wings, a 3-part body, and 6 legs. And then spiders fall in a class all their own because they have 8 legs and they have a 2-part body. So different examples of types of bugs are cicadas, water bugs, stink bugs, bed bugs, type of aphids, lice, and beetle type bugs. Those are all true bugs. And then types of insects include cockroaches, mosquitoes, butterflies, crickets, wasps, flies, ants, and bees. So these are our bugs and these are our insects. And then for our arachnids or our spiders, obviously who falls under that category are our spiders. We got our tarantulas, black widows, we also have daddy longlegs, but it also includes scorpions, mites, ticks, deer ticks, and also centipedes with all those lovely, lovely legs. So those are some different examples of bugs, insects, and arachnids. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And then I wanted to go through some fun facts about some different kinds of bugs and insects. So the first one up I'm going to have is a beetle. Now beetles can live anywhere except the polar regions or the ocean. Some beetles glow in the dark. Beetles eat other insects as well as decaying matter, and some beetles even eat poop. Yuck. Some beetles can live up to be 50 years, and beetles have protective hard wings and soft silky wings for flying underneath. Next up I have, move our beetle friend out of the way. You know what that is? That is a grasshopper. And grasshoppers are sometimes called locusts. Grasshoppers have ears on their bellies. They can fly and make music by rubbing their legs against their wings, which is called stridulating. And grasshoppers have strong jaws and love to eat, especially corn and wheat. Next up I have, what is this? That is an ant. Ants are extremely strong. They can carry over 50 times their own body weight. They do not have ears. They use vibrations from the ground to sense things going on around them. They have 2 stomachs, and they can swim. Next up, what do we have here? A butterfly. Butterfly wings are covered in tiny scales which give them color. Butterflies cannot fly in the cold. They drink from mud puddles to get minerals, and unlike other insects, butterflies cannot see well, and they use color to find their way around. Interesting. Maybe that's why we always see butterflies by flowers. Next up, we have, what's that little friend? It is a housefly. Houseflies live almost everywhere people do. Houseflies love things that are filthy, like rotten food, garbage, and even poop. Yuck. Houseflies eat their own vomit. Ew. Houseflies taste things with their feet. And because houseflies like to eat nasty things, they often carry germs and diseases. So, yucky flies. Next up, we have a little ladybug. Ladybugs are beetles and sometimes called lady beetles. Ladybugs can be boys too. When a ladybug feels threatened, it will spit a foul-smelling liquid from its knees. A ladybug's bright colors tricks birds into thinking it's poisonous. Different types of ladybugs have different number spots. Next up, we have a cockroach. Cockroaches lived on Earth even before the dinosaurs, so they've been around for a very long time. They eat just about anything, which is why they can live nearly anywhere. Cockroaches can live a week without their head. Cockroaches can go almost an hour without air. And cockroaches can squish through very tiny cracks. Next up, our next insect, that is a dragonfly. Dragonflies lived when dinosaurs were alive, just like the cockroaches, but they were gigantic compared to how they are today. Dragonflies eat other insects like mosquitoes and water skippers, and they can hover in one place like a helicopter. Dragonflies' eyes are so big they can take up most of their head, and a group of dragonflies is called a swarm. Very interesting. Next up, this very green bug. Do you know what this bug is called? This insect? It's called a praying mantis. Most praying mantis actually live in the jungle, and they can be as long as a child's hand. Praying mantis have special front legs designed to capture their prey, and they only have one ear, which is not on its head, but it's on its belly. And praying mantises are able to turn their heads 108 degrees. Next up, we have a centipede. Centipedes, look at all those legs. So they're not actually insects that we learned about earlier. They're kind of more related to spiders, arachnids. They can have anywhere from 30 to 342 legs, and they can live over 5 years. Centipedes can regenerate lost legs, which means if a centipede loses a leg, they can grow that leg back. And some centipedes are actually very poisonous. Next up we have a honeybee. And this honeybee helps pollinate plants, which means they help them grow. Honeybees live in hives, and only female bees will sting. Honeybees make honey, beeswax, and royal jelly, and during the winter time, honeybees gather in their hive to stay warm, and they eat the honey that they've made. Bzz. And last but not least, we have our caterpillar friend here. And caterpillars have one job, which is to eat as much as possible. They have 12 eyes and 6 legs, and caterpillars make silk, which they use to protect themselves as well when they make a chrysalis. As caterpillars go through metamorphosis, which is when they turn into a butterfly or a moth. So as we know, caterpillars will use their silk to make their chrysalis or their cocoon. They stay in that cocoon for a little while, and then once they break out of their cocoon, they become a beautiful butterfly. Well, thanks for learning along with me today, friends. I learned a lot of new things about bugs and insects and spiders. And I hope you learned a lot too and had fun. Till next time, see ya.